to do something different than my normal cooking shows that I've been doing. Due to the Valentine's coming up, and I wanted to let you know who actually inspired me to start this show, besides my children and my stepchildren, but it was actually my husband. So I wanted to share that with you. So as I keep a journal, and I write things down, you know, whatever inspires me, whatever. It's like a form of my therapy. And anyway, the whole show was inspired by my husband. So I'm gonna read it to you when I wrote it back in 2017. So August 2nd, 2017, Jason and I were on the way to the BWI airport because he was taking me somewhere. Mind you, I had no idea where he was taking me. I didn't know if he was taking me to the beach. Anyway, but it was Galveston, Texas. That's not the point of me writing this. We were just driving down the 83, and we just started talking, and he, my husband, mentions it to me that I should start a podcast. I was like, what? So the seed was planted in my head. My mind is always going 100 miles per hour. So I started to think, well, why not me? I mean, why not? I have a lot of stories to tell, and I have a lot of experience to share. So I thought, okay, I'll do it. I didn't have a real high education other than beauty school, but it wasn't about that. It was about the, like I said, life experience and my personal development that I still work on every day. And who could do that better than me? So I thought. So my husband, who thinks I'm smart and who also believes in me, that's when my journey started here. So this podcast was actually started, inspired by my husband. So that's why I wanted to introduce him to you on this Valentine's Day. Because, you know, Valentine's Day, husband, get it? Anyway, so Jason, would you like to say anything to my audience today?
Hi everyone, it's a privilege to be here with the one and only Lipstick Ajumma.
Okay, so I'm going to ask him some questions, see how well he knows me. You gotta be honest, and you can make comments. So Jason, do you remember where we met?
Where we met?
Yes.
Oh, I remember it very well.
Okay, where did we meet?
We met at the White Rose Bar and Grill. I was hanging out with a friend, and you came breezing through the door like a ray of sunshine.
Ray of sunshine.
That's right.
Okay.
And my friend happened to know you, and he introduced you to me. And the rest, you had your friend along with you, and we got to know each other. And that's where it started. I ended up hanging out with you and your friend for the rest of the evening, and we stayed up late till the bars closed and went to breakfast, and I think I got home at like 3 o'clock in the morning that morning.
Oh, do you remember the date?
Ooh, I used to remember it.
What do you mean you used to remember it?
December.
Well, that's good. It was shortly before Christmas.
Yeah, was it December 22nd?
No,
or
December
19th?
19th. But that's okay. That's not irrelevant. That's, you know, as long as you remember when we met.
It's not okay. She's gonna say she can't believe I don't remember it
Yeah.
later.
So, what attracted me to you?
What attracted? What? How was I attracted to you?
Correct. It's my.
I thought you were. I thought you were beautiful. I thought that you were sophisticated, and you were funny, and spunky, and you were just intriguing.
Intriguing. How?
Well, it was clear, even just from when I first met you, that you had an interesting backstory, and I wanted to learn it.
Mm. So, what's the most thing that you appreciate about me?
Your generosity.
So, you see where it's getting? This show is all about me, actually. Anyway, so, okay, so my generosity. Can you...
What's that? Your what?
My generosity?
Yes.
Generosity. And can you give an example of my generosity?
Oh, well, when we first met, we met as friends, and you used to hold get-togethers for a bunch of single people. You would have these dinners at your house, and everybody was supposed to bring a dish or something to drink, and you would provide the main entree, and you would go there, and there would be this massive buffet of food, and everybody would bring some small things, but you would do all the work and feed everybody, and we had a good time. So you opened your home to all these people, and it was a great time. I remember coming to several of those, and everybody would leave, and you would still have to clean up all the dishes.
So tell the audience how you got hooked, how I hooked you. Tell the audience.
How you hooked me?
Yes, because what did you always say? Because of dishes. So share that with them.
Oh no, that was how I hooked you.
Okay.
So after one of these get-togethers, Julie and I had been texting back and forth, and I think we're starting to develop a relationship. But after one of these get-togethers, everybody left, and there was this massive pile of dishes and dirty pots and pans and everything. And it was later. It was at like 10 or 10:30 after everybody was done socializing and left. And Julie said, "I'm just going to sit down on the couch," and so she fell asleep on the couch almost immediately. And so I just washed all the dishes and the pots, and I didn't know where to put them away or what cabinets they belonged in, so I just dried everything, stacked them up neatly on the counter, and then I let myself out and when she was sleeping. And because I thought it was horrible, because there was a ton of dirty dishes, and I thought that was terrible. She did all this work and made such a nice dinner, and everybody left and nobody helped clean the dishes. So that's what I did.
And I thought I was dreaming. The next day when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, what happened? I couldn't believe it. I actually thought I was dreaming. Because all the dishes were done, floors were swept, everything was all lined up neatly, and it was amazing. I'm like, so impressed. So impressed.
And that one deed sealed my fate.
That's what
after that happened, she said, "I gotta get this man. I gotta trap him."
That's what everybody. Yeah. He tells everybody that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what happened. That's when the full court press started. That's when the texting ramped up. That's when I'm gonna ask you out. That's when I'm gonna make you private dinner with scallops, knowing that was my favorite. After she had pumped me for that information. Oh yeah, that's when it started. What point did I know that I was in love with you? I fought it for a while. I think I knew sooner than I shared it with you. But I was. We had both been married before, and I didn't want to. I wanted to take this relationship seriously. I really liked you, and I wanted to treat you appropriately, and so I didn't want to rush into anything. I didn't want to make a mistake that would jeopardize our friendship or anything else. So. I think that I admitted to myself and then to you after we went on that trip to Florida with Tom.
Okay.
I know that's when I told you.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I remember. So far so good. Name one of the fondest memory you have created with me so far throughout our relationship that we've been together.
Oh, there's so many of them. One of the fondest.
Florida, the jet ski, maybe?
No. Riding the jet ski was fun. No, I think one of the fondest memories I had was the California trip that we took. That was a great time. When we had that couples massage, that was a whole other story. that was funny.
Oh, that more to come then.
Yeah. There, any experience with Julie becomes an adventure. There's always some sort of incident that occurs that we end up laughing about. The half of them I wish we would have filmed. Half of them I'm glad we didn't film. But yeah, I think that was one of the best the times I cherished the most was taking that trip. I had always wanted to go to California, and so we were able to make that happen, and it was neat. We just meandered along and did some cool stuff, met some fun people, and yeah.
Okay. What is my favorite color?
Red.
Oh, good.
Obvi.
What is my love language? There are 5 love languages.
I would say it's violence. My point exactly.
Serious. What's my love language?
Oh no, your love language is it's really hospitality. It's all ties into the food, which is of course the theme of your channel. But that's your favorite thing to do, is to make somebody a meal and share fellowship and time with them. So that's your love language.
When do you find me the prettiest? I know I'm pretty and everything every day, but when do you find me the prettiest?
I was gonna say every day.
Yeah.
When do I find you the prettiest? When you're doing something you love and you're laughing and smiling and your eyes are sparkling and you're not focused on any concerns you have. Usually when you're entertaining.
Are you able to tell one time that something that's funny that you and I both experienced?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. It just happened this fall, actually. Julie took me to for my birthday. She took us to a Korean spa for my birthday, and it was a gift for us for my birthday. So they have, in this Korean spa, they have all different kinds of different rooms that you can go into. You can get the traditional Korean scrub, which was cool, and there's all kinds of saunas and things of that nature. But then they have these special rooms, like they have an ice room where it's really cold. They have a super hot room where you can go to get sweat on, and they have all different types of. They have a gold room, a charcoal room. All this stuff is to detoxify you and stuff. It's a really neat experience. But they had this one room called the Cypress room, and they had this bed, like a box. It was a big box to fit like 12 people, and you lay in it, and it's a bunch of little cypress cubes, like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square cypress wood cubes that you lay on. And when you get down in it, if you go down on your hands and knees, it's kind of hard walking on those cubes, like walking on a bed of Legos. But when you lay in it, it's actually really comfortable to lay on this. So you lay in there, and there's like I said, 8 or 10 people in this thing, and so Julie and I couldn't lay right next to each other, so there was a woman laying in between us, and so we're laying there. And after a while, Julie gets antsy, as she's given to do, so she starts flailing around. So you start hearing shh, 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 shh. Imagine like a kid rooting through a box of Legos. That's what this sounds like. Then she keeps doing it more. She keeps doing it more. She says, oh God, I can't. Oh. And so then the lady on the other side of me just starts laughing. She's snickering to herself. And then Julie goes to get up. She goes, Jackie, I need help. Help me get up. And I pretend like I don't know her. So she's making, it's supposed to be dead quiet and serene. Everybody's supposed to be relaxing. And she's, check it. So then she's flailing around trying to get out of this box of Legos, these wood blocks. And the blocks are flying everywhere. And she's swirling around and the float is going everywhere. And finally the woman next to me gets up and she and tries to help her. So the woman steps out of the box and Julie reaches out to her like this, like she's in quicksand, completely dead weight. Like this. And the woman is now at this point, she's got her leg on the side of the box and she's dragging Julie out. Julie's dragging out of this thing. Cubes are going everywhere. By now, everybody in the whole thing is laughing.
Yeah,
she's going, oh God, I can't get out of this thing. Oh God. So then we get out, and there's some mats where people sit while they're waiting to get in the box. And Julie walks out, and they give you a t-shirt and shorts at this spa. And she's walking out. As she's walking away from the box, these cubes start falling on her out of her shorts. And this lady that was sitting on the side said, "Girl, them cubes is falling out your ass." and it was hysterical. I said, "Now we're never going to be able to come back here. That's it. They're not going to allow us."
So you have to be there to see it happen.
Girl, them cubes is falling out your ass.
All right. So, tell me what you, or tell the audience what you like to do with me. You know, what are the things that you like to do with me?
I like to go on any adventure with you. I love going on the bike and taking motorcycle adventures, either just you and I or with the couples. I love to go hiking. We were skiing for a little bit. Shooting, just any kind of adventure. Anything that is fun. Anything we do together is fun. Even going to the Korean spa, anything like that. Going to the gym even. One thing we like to do together pretty frequently is perturb each other. That's a common thing. Is just to see who can push each other's buttons.
I don't push your button.
No, you don't.
What's my favorite food?
Korean food.
Okay.
That's obvious too.
What what makes you a good husband?
What makes me a good husband?
Yes,
That's a
what
little
do you think?
self-aggrandizing. I think that I'm a good protector, a very strong provider for both you and the family. I look out for everybody's best interest for their future, and I try my best to open you guys up and give you as many opportunities and put you in front of as many things as I can. I see that as my goal for everybody I come in contact with, not only my family but my employees as well, is to just celebrate and promote them.
And you're very good at that.
I
You're
try
very
to
good
do
at
that.
promoting people.
I try to teach you guys to. I try to be frugal and teach you guys to be frugal as best you can, so that we can take the blessings we do get and stretch them as far as we possibly can. I think that that is part of the appreciation of getting a blessing, is to maximize it and do the best you can and not waste it.
So, what makes a good wife?
What makes a good wife?
Besides somebody who doesn't perturb you, but what makes a good wife?
Who doesn't perturb me?
Yeah.
Well,
But I'm saying.
somebody. What makes a good wife? Somebody that listens. Somebody that is supportive. Somebody that understands. It takes the time to understand things from the husband's perspective and knows what his motivations are, and knows where he comes from and how he's wired as a provider, as a husband, as a mate, and even as a lover. Somebody, somebody that sees that and then works to support that mission and kind of understands what your motivations are. So even if because husbands and wives are different, so husbands' motivations just naturally are going to be, and things that drive them and things that concern them are going to be sometimes different than what the wives are. So to be able to look through that lens, and I mean it gets flipped the other way, husbands can do that for wives as well, but a wife that can do that that's what makes them a good wife, I guess.
Good answer. Who do you respect as a role model? Rather, is someone who's from podcasts, or someone who's audiobooks, or from, can you name a?
So somebody current.
Yeah, somebody that you respect that
media?
could be a good role model.
There was a few of them. One of them, without a doubt, would be Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
100%. I have just tremendous appreciation for his desire to everything that, at least from my perspective, everything that he does as he tries to figure things out is done to help people have the tools to have a better life, to help themselves as well. And he stayed steady with that, even though he's risen in popularity and had some challenges and had some strife and even some physical challenges. He's really just remained the same person as when I discovered him listening to his YouTubes of his classes when he was at University of Toronto 7 or 8 years ago when I first tripped over him. He's the same person. He stayed true to his mission, and he genuinely, even though he speaks to millions of people all around the world, he genuinely cares, and wants everybody to have the opportunity to do better and to succeed and thrive. I think also I appreciate Joe Rogan as a podcaster a lot. I like his views, and not so much his views, but his how he puts himself in front of people with different views and different experiences. Because his shows definitely not as much about his views, but learning from other people who have different and sometimes opposing views. So I would say I would say him. Jocko Willink is another one that I appreciate for sure. Extreme Ownership is an amazing concept. It's an amazing book. You should check out Extreme Ownership: How Navy SEALs Lead and Win. And the follow up to that, the dichotomy of leadership. If you're in a leadership role, even if you're not at the top of an organization, even if you just have coworkers, anybody can lead from where they are. So it's something I highly recommend.
So can you tell us the ages of the children? Because we are blended family, and so can you tell us the age of the children from the top to the bottom, and give some advice to the blended family who actually not blended family yet, as they come as a blended family since we've experienced over 10 years.
Okay, so the oldest is 28. The next one is she is 26.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have 21, 21, and 16.
Mm-hmm. So, being a blended family, how we've experienced it. So, what advice would you give them to them? Because remember, we actually took like a seminar, and we don't believe in as a blended family per se. We believe in as, what do they call the concept? Crock pot family.
No. So, what advice would I have for people who are considering having a blended family, or who already have one?
Well, considering.
I would think long and hard about it. It's a challenge if you already have kids of your own that are your biological kids. When you blend a family, for both people and for the kids, for the whole family, it's a challenge unlike you never thought that you would have. It's incredibly rewarding, but it's incredibly challenging. And I think that all of the kids in our family would agree with that too. It's not easy, so I would not jump into it. I would think long and hard about it, because just because the kids get along when you have them together on a date or a play date or a weekend or something is not the same. It doesn't mean that they're going to that's going to be like that in day-to-day life. Real life can be challenging on its own, and with blending, there's just a ton of variables. So just think long and hard about it, and make sure that that's something that you really want to do, because you have to be in it for the long haul. You have to really be willing to commit to it, and it is not. Hear me well. It's not easy. It's worth it, but it's definitely not easy. Not at all. Imagine climbing a mountain for the rest of your life. Would be the way I would articulate it. The other thing I would say is, with regards to stepchildren, is one of the biggest, probably the biggest, most important thing I learned, and it's counterintuitive if you're a parent, is that when it comes to your stepchildren, you have to be their friend first. So when you enter that relationship and it's new, and you formalize it by moving in together, or hopefully getting married to their to their mother, you actually have to work to become their friend first, and then the children will allow you to parent them. And as parents, I know that is counterintuitive. It was for me, because I was coming into it saying, well, I am a parent. I have children of my own. I know how to parent. You're not going to allow me to parent you. I'm going to parent you. Absolutely wrong approach. It works way better for everyone if they get to know you, they build a trust for you, they feel confident, and then they will ask you to parent them, because they trust you. You got to remember, you just made a decision with their mother that they didn't have anything to do with, and you're changing things, you're upending things. They may have had 100% of her time. If you're the stepfather, they may have had 100% of their mom's time, and now they're gonna have to share that with you, and they don't know you. They don't know that even if you are an awesome parent and you have a great relationship with your biological kids, your stepkids just don't know that. Your stepkids will also be a little jealous of that. They could also be a little jealous of that. And vice versa. If you bring kids into the mix, your kids may be a little jealous of the relationship that you have with their new stepmom. So you have to do that. and it works. I was going to do the opposite. I was going to come in and just start parenting, and I got reoriented in this class that Julie mentioned, and it was the best thing I ever did. And it worked. It absolutely worked. And I have 3 stepchildren, and it worked by varying degrees over varying time scales. But it absolutely worked. And we've been able to walk through some real challenges, individual, just family challenges, my stepkids and I, in a way that if I hadn't done that, I would have never been close enough to them, and they would have never felt comfortable with. The other thing, 2 more things I'll say about that. The first of those is that don't expect it to happen overnight. 7 to 10 years is the amount of time that it takes a step family to fully gel, for everybody to become fully comfortable and fully at ease and fully accepting of the situation. That's 7 to 10 years, not 7 to 10 months, and that's true.
It has been 10 years, and that's when we all start.
It took me 8.5 years before one of my step children said to me, and just as she was leaving to go somewhere, but she said, "Hey, love you." So, and it was a wonderful thing to hear. But you have to be willing to wait, and just because they don't say it doesn't mean they don't mean it or they don't feel it. But it takes that time, and you got to be willing to do it. That's why I'm telling you, you got to be in it for the long haul, because it takes a minute. It's incredibly complex and challenging, and everybody in the family is going to change a little bit as they do it. The other thing I was going to say, something Julia alluded to, is that we actually don't really like the blended family term, because that puts in mind, think about the stuff when you make a smoothie and you dump all your fruit and your milk and everything and whatever you're putting in your smoothie together, and you turn on the blender and it runs and it goes really fast and it turns it all into one kind of homogeneous liquid that is all the same. It has some of the flavors, but the flavors are all mixed. It's completely blended 100%. That is not what happens in a step family. It's more of a crock pot scenario. Everything goes in the crock pot. It's its own flavor, and it takes a long time before it comes together. And when you take it out of the crock pot, the carrot still tastes like a carrot, but it has taken some of the flavor of the beef. And the potato still tastes like a potato, but it has some of the carrot, and vice versa. It takes a long time, and everything seeps in like that. But each individual thing retains its own individuality. So a carrot's still a carrot. And same thing will go with each member of your step family. Not all are just going to become one new, brand new family in a 30-second push of the blender button, which is not the way it works. So that's why we like to say that we like the crock pot scenario. It's definitely more of a simmer situation, and it takes a while.
Well, that kind of sums it up for everything. I mean, we have a lot to share as far as blended family, divorce, and death, or kids, how to raise kids, how to raise a dog, all kinds of stuff that we could talk about. But so with this Valentine's, I wanted to share the love between a husband and the family, dynamics between the blended families. So hopefully that you guys will continue to subscribe us, and so we can come up with the more stories, or what you call it, things to load, and you can give us inspirations.
Maybe some more interesting and hopefully entertaining content.
So I have a lot of people want to be on this show, and I find that very exciting. Now they want to be part of it. So different from the different countries, that they want to share their dishes with us and stuff like that. So keep us in mind, okay? You have a very Valentine's Day. 안녕. 이거 하는 거야? 안녕.
안녕.
Okay, there we go.
And don't forget to smash that like button.
Yes, smash that like button. No, what do you mean smash?
Smash it.
No, hit the like button.
Smash it.
Okay, smash the like button.